fancy slash graphic. Warlock banned from both sides. I can respect that. And we're going to start off with Shaman Mirrors. It's both been chosen. Now, wait, what the heck? Oh, I was like, well, is it Shaman Mirror or is it the same person's screen that we're on? I was like, these guys are really good at drawing the exact same cards.
What is happening? Where's the coin?
All right. There we go. We got it all settled. It's Hunter versus Shaman.
Oh, wow. So they banned Rogue?
Yeah. No, are you? Oh, I thought it was the Warlock.
No,
that was banned
they both banned Warlock.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, they banned Warlock. Okay,
Yes.
so we are really respecting both Zoo and Handlock here. And what's the lineup? So ThijsNL is playing Druid, Hunter, Priest, Warlock, and Warrior. And Savjz will be Warrior, Warlock, Hunter, Rogue, and Shaman.
Yep. Okay, so leading off with Shaman versus Hunter, this matchup, especially if it's a very aggressive Hunter, it can be very difficult for Shaman to deal with the incoming pressure. And the hero power sets a very finite clock onto the Shaman. But is it possible for Shaman to fight back? There's a lot of people who say if you build the Shaman correctly, you can fight against Hunter.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty interesting matchup because historically Hunter was always winning versus Shaman because of Unleash the Hounds and Buzzard. And Shaman has to build the board control. So then Hunter was using it against Shaman to get an advantage. But right now it changed a bit because Hunter changed. So not everyone is playing Unleash the Hounds anymore. And if Shaman just builds up the board with Feral Spirit, sometimes Hunter can't deal with this. Also, Shaman has one of the best removal cards for Undertakers and Seven Hymens. Like
Right.
if you just keep your Airshock and kill Undertaker, it's just so good.
Yeah, but it seems like you're super dependent on having something on the board. Like, look at your Flame Tongue value that you can get. Absolutely 0 at the moment.
Oh yeah, right now it's looking really bad for Savjz.
Yeah.
Only reactive cards that need a board.
Yeah, it is actually very hard for the Shaman to keep a board against a deck like Hunter or Zoo. So often many cards like the Flame Dark Totem will be completely useless in the early game.
And for ThijsNL, it seems like his hand is actually pretty good. I mean, it couldn't be better, but I'm sure he will be able to get the Houndmaster value here.
Huh. Wow. Well, that Lightning Bolt value where Mad Scientist already pays for himself with an extra card, and you already just lost an
Oh
overload
baby,
yourself.
Animal Companion right here. So nice.
Animal Companion is really nice. The Houndmaster follow-up.
It's a Huffer, isn't it? No, it's a Leok.
Oh, Leok is actually pretty
Wow.
good because he can kill the totem right now.
Well, that's good. You know, again, the life total is very precious to the Shaman. He's going to take this seriously, hexing the Leok, especially since he has the second one he just
will we
drew.
see a buffed frog?
A Super Frog!
Get in there, frog.
Enter Frog. What's the secret? That's Freezing Trap, right?
No, that's Snake. Oh,
No,
oh,
you can play Snake
sorry.
Trap, so it should be a Freezing Trap.
You're saying this the one in play already.
This has got to be a buffed frog.
Go Froggy.
I don't see any other play here.
2/3 frog. It's a River Crocodilus with Taunt.
Yeah.
River Frogolus.
River frog. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, Gleesh. Come
Well,
on.
it's faster.
I like it.
I
Of
got a better
course.
initiative roll.
I can always count on Ninja with the dad jokes.
Okay, so this looks really bad. Oh my god, Lava Bursts. Interesting. Is this Chucky's build?
I don't know.
Double Doom Hammer.
Double Doom Hammer?
No way. No way anyone.
No way, yeah.
No way anyone ever plays Double Doomhammer except for Chucky.
Double the Doom Hammer.
Not
Double
like
the excitement.
even within Coast. Yeah, that was my line. Even in Coast, they were disagreeing on Double Doom Hammer. Like in the sense that one person would be like Chalky would be like, yeah, it's okay, and then Twist is like, no, I'd rather have Alec here.
Yeah.
Basically, it looks so bad for Savjz because even though he is able to clear a bit, Hunter is applying pressure, and Hunter is fine with losing board presence by turn 7 or 8, because then you just kill your opponent with hero power and kill command. So right now, Shaman will struggle, will try to build up the board presence, but then even if he wins, he will still lose the game. Unless a miracle happens.
Yeah, as long as a little damage just is trickled in every single turn, it's going to be very difficult, even if Shaman's fighting back for it. And then, what is nice though is Savjz does have opportunity to get tempo back. If he plays high main, then Savjz can answer with Hex and then hopefully answer something on the board if he has Lightning Storm, for example.
Yeah. Oh wow, he's not deciding to play a Flare. Interesting.
Wow.
I guess he really wanted to play Web Spinner and a Snake Trap.
Yeah, it's fighting back for board as much as you can. Because you have to attack into this frog.
I'm not sure how needed Snake Trap was, because if you have a Freezing Trap, The 2/4 will just go back to the hand.
He already used 2 lightning bolts. And without 6 mana to use Fire Elemental, how else do you get rid of this frog easily? Earthshock it, and then you're okay to just drop your high main anyway?
Is he just BMing Savjz and wants to finish him with the frog?
Absolutely not. Thijs is one of the nicest guys.
Well, 11 turns after this, the frog will be the winner here.
Yeah, told you. Hound mastering a frog is always the best play.
Oh. Well, this doesn't feel good for Savjz at all. He couldn't fight back for the board.
Oh wow, Lothab is actually pretty good. I mean, even if you don't play Lothab this turn, it's just shutting down Shaman. So it will be used as a snowball card. Like when you have a board, and you will definitely have a board with Freezing Trap and Snake Trap on your hero, just play Lothab and then win next turn.
Yeah, the Lothab is insane right now. I mean, disrupts the Hex and the Lava Burst and also a potential Lightning Storm. So the Lothab in this situation is just...
Would you play a Lothab now, or like would you play... Okay.
Because it doesn't allow the Shaman to play many of his important spells that cost 3 mana. Pharaoh Spirits as well, like Pharaoh Spirits, Lightning Storm, Hex. None of those cards are playable.
It was kind of tempting to play High Main and then be able to play Lothab next turn and Hero Power, because... Well, maybe he could actually play Flare, because he had 1 mana, and Flare is not that useful against your Shaman.
Sure. You still have an opportunity to pick up important stuff if you have like Hunter's Mark, and then you can use it on Lothab, assuming this is the case. But we know that Savjz can respond immediately with Fire Elemental or Flame Tongue Totem to start trading in, picking up some value there.
Oh my god, is the frog going down?
Yeah, pretty sure the frog is gonna get fired.
Squished.
Fired by the Fire Elemental.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense. Have to test for traps too, which is really annoying.
Well, he will be able to kill Lothab with Lothab.
Yes, that'll be important. But then he's still incurring the wrath of the Snake Trap. But he has to. He's at 18 health.
Oh, he's not gonna trigger it.
He's actually going for face.
Yes.
That is interesting. He's trying to race here with a Doomhammer, apparently.
And he does have Lava Burst as well.
And he has double Flame Tongue, so I mean, this is a lot of damage incoming.
Oh, that is a very interesting perspective. And I like that Savjz uses his hand as leverage to push for damage. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good line of play, because for Hunter, the situation looks pretty good if you want to race. It's like, yeah, I'm a Hunter, you want to race me? Sure, I can race you, but would you suspect like double Flame Tongue and a Lava Burst and like so much burst in Hunter's hand? And especially after seeing double Lightning Bolt, you're like, yeah, what is actually killing me here?
But, I mean, Hunter's holding 4 cards. It's very scary. He can hero power you down. He's dropping the Savannah High Main, which implies he's going to go for the Web Spinner as well. No Flare yet.
Well, Savannah Hyman is going to be Hexed. On the other hand, Frog is again annoying because it's a taunt, so...
Well, Azure Drake doesn't improve the hand that dramatically.
We got a potential of 11 damage in hand and 11 damage on the board.
Ooh.
So that would be 22. 3 damage off lethal at the moment.
Yeah, if he picked up Rockbiter, that would have been it, right?
So therefore he will have to use Hex and maybe even Lava Burst to deal with enemy minions right now.
Yeah, it's actually scary that if you get a Rockbiter, he will have an extra lethal, so that was pretty scary play that he did last turn.
If he uses Hex and Lava Burst now, does he pigeonhole his mana too much to the point where he can't potentially draw into lethal next turn?
Wait, what?
Is he going to Lava Burst Hex now? Like, he gets the damage in before the Hex?
Yeah, it seems like it. Because he doesn't want to give him the snakes as well.
Sure. And then at least 3 damage on board, plus hero power, so his opponent needs to draw into 6. 6 damage is the key, and Thijs has 2 additional ways to potentially draw into with Flare.
Well, 6 damage is actually a lot. It's like kill command is not enough.
If he gets kill command and Eagle Horn Bow?
Sure. Leper
Gnome is not it.
But it's delayed. Oh my god, is that actually it?
Well, like, I mean, he has Sludge Belcher to defend, so assuming he picks up like Hunter's Mark, he should be okay to not die the next turn.
He should still fish for lethal if possible.
Thijs is considering whether to like
Suicide Web Spinner?
Hero power, I guess.
Hero power Belcher.
It doesn't matter if you hero power or Leper Gnome, it's pretty much the same thing.
Oh my god, there is a kill command.
He's 1 damage off right now. He's got 10 damage. If only you can activate this Leopard Gnome this turn, Nimsh.
The Leopard Gnome is lethal, but not this turn.
Let me ask you, is there any merit to suiciding a web spinner to see what you draw potentially?
And trying to get...
This is actually a tricky play right now because Sludge Belcher would be vulnerable to something like
Earthshock,
Earthshock, which we haven't seen yet.
That is true.
I think you just drop the Sludge Belcher, kill the totem, and drop the Leopard Gnome.
Yeah, that seems to be his safest defensive play.
See, I mean, Kill Command, if he is expecting Earthshock, then Kill Command is definitely the safer play right here.
That's true. That is true. I mean, there are two different kinds of save plays, and he goes for the one where he kills out the Flame Tongue Totem.
Well, Earthshock is lethal, so you can still...
Oh!
There it is.
Okay!
Whoa! All right. Well, Savjz able to weather the storm.
I mean,
can he spot lethal, E-Cup?
why are you asking me?
I think Savjz definitely sees it, and that's what matters the most. And hey, guess what? You can't even fill the board with snakes. Only
I mean,
2 snakes.
definitely not a misplay by Thijs. It's a line of play that you can take. I mean, either you play around the Earthshock or you don't play around the Earthshock,
Right.
because Kill Command ensures that you have lethal next turn.
Yeah, and you know, there were ways to draw around it too. So, well played from both sides, and look at that. The Shaman defeats the Hunter to start things off.
I'm surprised, I mean...
Surprising people, along with Zhu, in most recent Chinese tournaments. Oh, it's gonna be Priest. He does have a Priest.
Oh yeah.
I really like this overlay, by the way. It looks really nice.
Okay, so Priest versus Shaman. Well, let me tell you, this is, in my opinion, one of the most lopsided matchups in Hearthstone. At least from the Shaman's perspective, it just feels like no matter what you do, Priest outvalues you, and then they always have a way to clear the board against whatever you do.
Well, I remember Thijs being in the same shoes when he was playing Priest versus Colento's Shaman. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
EU Regionals?
I was there.
It was super close.
It was very close. In fact, we've seen Shaman beat the Priest if he starts fatiguing him at turn 7. Like,
Yeah, we've seen that game.
Hero
Do you
power
think, do you think
pass.
this is the game, like Hero Power Pass game, and then, oh, we're out of cards in our decks, let's play some Hearthstone. So starting hands, from Priest's perspective, Injured Blade Master Circle is pretty good.
yeah, that's one of the better starts. Your opponent can respond with a Hex and start pushing the board. But, I mean, the game is still so young with Priest and Shaman that nothing is determined by the first few turns. Priest can bounce back so easily, and then Shaman can also run dead draws. Like, if you have Lava Burst, for example, that might never ever come into play until, like, the late stage of the game.
I mean, Priest is probably the class with most board clears, at least the deck that Thijs is running, or seems to be running. It has Pyromancers, plus a lot of spells. It has Holy Novas, it has the Circle of Healing with Arcanine combo, so definitely a lot of board clears, and Shaman is very vulnerable to that.
Also, a couple of Shadow
Oh,
Priest is an
that's-
MVP in this matchup, because Shaman really has to play all the small minions as soon as possible. After turn 6, it's just Cabo, and I steal your Harvest Golem, I steal your Wonder Creeper, or like Gnomish Inventor.
What do you think about cards like Black Knight and Priest? The card on the far right removes the taunt minions. What do you think about that? It's an interesting tech inclusion that you don't normally see in Priest.
Yeah, it has increased in popularity. The choice of playing Black Knight even over Ysera. Like for example, I was running Ysera and Mind Control, and I've seen many people running Black Knight instead of Ysera in that specific build. I'm not sure why exactly, why you would need to kill a Taunter.
Right. And most people run Black Knights commonly because they feel like they can get value against Sludge Belcher. But Priest is one of the best classes at dealing with Sludge Belcher with Shadow
I'm pretty
matchups.
sure it's just to counter Handlock better.
Okay.
Just to have a better matchup against Handlock,
Makes
pretty
sense.
much.
Do you kill the Injured Blade Master now? Or do you just race?
Well, you have Doomhammer and Lava Burst in hand, I think.
Oh yeah, okay, then you probably race.
It's again the same scenario as the previous game, except a lot less pressure, way less pressure. At least from the Priest versus the Hunter.
But this is such a powerful turn for the Priest. It's like your board is just extremely good. And there is the Sludge Belcher also in hand, so if Priest is able to stabilize and starts healing, that might be troublesome for...
That's still a big if. I mean, he's going to be able to push out 4 damage a turn, and then he's got Lightning Bolt now with Lava Burst.
Yeah, that is indeed a lot of damage.
That's 11 damage next turn, just with spells and Doomhammer alone.
I'm so surprised that Savjz is such an honest player here. He's just going for face with Shaman and then
No, you
not
must be
caring
so
about
happy,
anything.
Imsh.
Yeah, I am happy, but it's like, it's weird. He was a control player before, and right now he's just all in.
I mean, this is what you have to do when you're facing bad matchups. I mean, Savjz saw it versus Hunter. He saw the line of play he had to take in order to win, and this is the same thing he has to do in this bad matchup against the Priest. So Savjz might potentially take down two non-favorable matchups here.
Well, you know, if he gets a Nerf Shock, he wins. Because then he has exactly 12 points of
Yeah,
damage.
you're right. Does he have the mana to do all that? Yes, he does.
If that's a Nerf Shock, that's it.
No, he doesn't, because he's at 4.
Wait,
He's at 4.
he wins anyway. Because now he's like...
Wait, hold on, no.
How much is this?
Are you
This is
sure?
5?
Does he have the mana to
he has
play
4
everything?
mana.
Yeah, he can't play
Oh,
everything.
damn. But that's so close. Can he still win this?
I'm trying to find a way, but everything comes short at 5 mana.
I mean, he's not killing Thijs yet.
Sure.
However, he's still not afraid. He's still not in any position to die here.
that's true.
21 health is way too much for a priest to.
Well, he's
deal
winning
with.
next turn anyway. But I'm not sure if I agree with Lava Burst. I would probably use Rogue Biter to just clear this and deal as much damage as possible before the other taunt, and then have like 8 points of damage in my hand.
Tice needs another taunt here to survive, or Holy Fire.
Oh, there's no taunt.
Is there a Thought Steal that can
Savjz
save him?
has 13 points of damage in his hand right now. Like 14 with the spider. If he gets a spell damage totem, it's even better.
Wow, can't believe this. Tice is completely run out of answers to stop it. He might have to Thought Steal to see his best option.
But what
Yeah.
can he actually get? Like Hex
Feral
and then
Spirit,
Hex
maybe?
your own minion?
Hex your own minion?
The
I don't
one-
know, Feral Spirits?
The one Feral Spirit that's still in Savjz's deck.
That's-
No, he whiffs.
That's it, guys. Savjz takes it.
Wow.
How much damage is this even? 12? No, he can't kill Savjz. You know what would be funny if he actually like Thought Steals into Lava Burst and Lightning Bolt and just kills
Right.
Savjz right on the spot. Like, okay.
That would have been pretty awkward. The most he can do is send to 14, right? And then,
just die.
yeah, he only has 14 points of damage. He's going to spread it out, it looks like, and try to maximize it. Assuming his opponent only had Rock Biter, but we know Savjz has Rock Biter and Lightning Bolt, so that's going to be it.
What can Savjz draw to maximize damage here?
Lava Burst.
Okay,
Oh,
Lava Burst.
Second Lava Burst in the deck.
Wow. So it was
That is
possible.
a lot of burst.
That's a lot of burst with this Lava Burst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's also important to conceal that. So as much as you can go for the BMs, Lava Burst yourself, do whatever you want. Hiding that information is
Oh man, that's
only
tough for
beneficial
Thijs.
you.
It's like you lose your counter deck against the Shaman, and what are you going to bring? Like, you have Warrior, and what's the bad matchup for Warrior?
Come out, but we'll see.
That's a
Warrior
Warrior.
it is.
Oh wow, I did not expect that.
Well, let's see how this develops. And Savjz once again getting Doomhammer early on, thinking about keeping it.
Maybe he is actually playing double Doomhammer.
Yeah.
Well, we are seeing Doomhammer every game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Could be
Maybe
true.
he is. Maybe it's just a Chalky build.
Maybe
No,
he's-
that's the whole point of it. Chalky told me that the point of double Doomhammer was to say, this guy gets Doomhammer every game. I can't stop that, and like never have to show double of them.
Often in many matchups, Doomhammer is actually the best win condition that you can get in order to win that specific matchup. And so why not play two just to have one in your opening hand for sure?
Yeah, and if they Harrison your Doomhammer, you just have another Doomhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. You
No,
can
but
win the
honest-
fatigue game that way.
But honestly, I think like Harrison is not being played anymore. It's like, it seems... Well, we will see. Like,
Yeah,
player
yeah, I
change
mean,
decks for the
That would be the
tournaments.
perfect way for you to set up a Harrison on Gara, because you're saying right now that no one's playing Harrison, and then Nimsh whips out Harrison.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Maybe I am playing Harrison.
All right, well, there's an interesting way you can play this turn, but I feel like saving the coin is much more precious, especially this matchup, where as the Warrior, there's going to be turns where you want to get ahead of the Shaman, especially if he has a passive turn like this, where he's just going to hero power.
Oh, an unlucky totem, kind of. So, Frodan, tell me, why is Warrior so bad versus Shaman?
Well, eventually you run out of ways to clear the board, and Shaman just, like, especially if you get to the point where Shaman's guaranteed to roll taunt totems, then your weapons are completely useless. And then they can just continue to push for damage and leverage the board. So it gets very difficult at the late stages. It's important to save the brawls, but he also has some interesting ways to deal with board too, like cleave, which is not every day you see a cleave in a hunter deck. Or sorry, a warrior deck.
Definitely
Sorry,
you don't
I
see
just
cleave.
spoiled your analysis.
Oh man!
Sorry.
Ecop, can you tell me why Doomhammer is so good against warrior?
Doomhammer.
Yeah.
Wow, Doomhammer. Is he really running double Doomhammer now? I'm curious. Doomhammer's in his hand every game.
Well, he actually kept it. Wait, did he keep it after the mulligan? Or did he mulligan away?
No, he pushed it away.
He pushed it away, okay. Because like keeping Doomhammer against the warrior is actually not bad.
Yeah.
You're getting 4 points of damage every turn.
Right.
Basically, like a lot of warriors, they just cut Harrison Jones. And if they are running Harrison Jones, and we've seen it at the VIA Game Cup, sometimes you just don't draw into it. So just chipping their armor, like killing their armor every turn, and just getting their life low, is pretty good. And Doomhammer essentially is like 16 points of damage.
Yeah, assuming you spread it out accordingly, you can get more with the Rockbiter. That's also an important card for Warrior that Thijs just picked up. The Brawl is important to reset the board and save it. In fact, so much so that some people run double Brawl, right? We saw Mr. Yagut in Europe run double Brawl.
Ecop was running double Brawl via game, I heard.
Oh, where
Yeah,
are you now?
that's true.
Ecop gave me a look like, well, how can you not mention me?
He knows what's
My
up.
bad, bro. I didn't see that game.
Doomhammer hits the board. I mean, it's definitely a great way of applying pressure. It's 16 damage in one card. I mean, how can that not be good? Especially if the game is drawn out.
Oh my god, Blizzard, please nerf. It's like even better than Pyroblast.
That's true. For 8 mana, you get 16 damage. Seems pretty fair to me. Or 7 mana, excuse me.
So it seems like Thijs' Warrior is anti-aggro based with all the ghouls, cleave, brawl, maybe double brawl even.
It's interesting that
What's the cost, by the way? Like if you're playing cards like cleave and double brawl, let's say,
Right.
what are you not playing?
that was my follow-up question. It's interesting that he has so much early game response. Now, what late game did he cut, if at all? Like maybe he cut his mid game.
Well, I'm sure he's not running an Ysera.
Sure.
If he runs an Ysera, I will be really surprised. It's like a 40-card priest deck that Gara was running. He had both like early game and late game.
See, what this kind of tells me, I kind of want to go back to Thijs' choice of decks, because he had the choice between Warrior and Druid. And I'm pretty sure that Thijs thinks that the Warrior, because of all those anti-aggro cards, has a better matchup against Savjz's aggressive Shaman. However, I doubt that the Warrior will be able to have a 3-0 sweep against every deck that Savjz can
You also
bring
need a
against him.
better start than this as the Warrior against the Shaman.
Well, I would probably explain why he is playing Warrior instead of Druid. So Thijs is known to be a ramp Druid player. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if he actually brought Kolentos Druid to like confuse his opponents. And Kolentos Druid, the original version that RDU was playing at VIA Game Cup, there are no taunts. Like the only taunts you have are Druid of the Claw. So if you're missing Wild Growth, it's like the Shaman would just go through your face. Like it just ignore your minions and finish you with Lava Burst.
But still, wouldn't you just rather pick a deck that is more likely to go 3-0?
I think Warrior is able to go 3-0 as well. Like Warrior is really stable and consistent. It might be harder than a Druid, but if you're going into matchup with Shaman, and if you have a deck that you're not comfortable with, especially if this is deck you haven't played that much, I would definitely take Warrior here. And Thijs is mostly a control player. He loves his Warrior decks.
No, it's a good question though, because it does pose like, can you 3-0 with what Savjz has? He has Hunter, which is what the Warrior's good against, but against Warrior and Rogue, I feel like Druid's the better choice, perhaps. So maybe there's something about this deck, specifically of Druid, that's not good in this series that Thijs is avoiding. And as a result, he has to rely on his Warrior, which, if this Savannah
High main, you really want to see a Hunter game, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me.
By the way, talking about Warriors and 3-0,
But-
the last time I played versus Thijs, I 3-0 him with Warrior.
That's right, in Deck Wars.
Maybe
I
he was
remember
like,
that.
yeah, I'm going to 3-0 Warrior deck as well.
Just get my inner Nimsh out. If this Sylvanas gets dealt with, though, there's a lot of damage that'll be coming in the next couple turns. Just look at what's in Savjz's hand. He's got Flame Tongue Totems, Lava Burst.
Oh man,
Lightning
this
bolts?
Shaman is actually super scary.
Huh. Well, let's calculate. 4, 9, 12. And then there's spell power, so that's 14 plus 2 on the board. 16 plus Doomhammer, that's 20. There's 20 damage already existing in Shaman.
Can you guys tell me, because this Shaman was like absent from the metagame. I mean, it was played a couple of months ago, like Unbound Elemental with spell burst damage Shaman, but it was absent from the metagame for some time. Like people were playing more Defral or like board presence Shamans, but right now with Lava Burst, I mean, one of the problems this deck had was not enough card draw. At some point we were just running out of cards and losing the game, but here it seems like it's actually working well.
Savjz actually had 282 damage available, by the way, if you consider the buff from the Unbound Elemental as well. From
oh, you're right. 22.
If he had enough mana for Argus as well, then he would have had lethal.
That's true. Wow, that is crazy to think about. Not to mention there's, I mean, if we're talking about strict vacuum, he had other ways to overload too with some other cards. And just like that, is this a board where you feel like you have to do something drastic to? Like,
well, I definitely don't want to leave this board without an answer.
sure, but do you have to use like cleave potentially here, or you have to use Grobosh?
Oh wow.
Oh. Hold on, does that mean Savjz wins? He's counting up. And the spell power totem's left
How
up.
much damage is this?
Wait, there's 4? He picked up a card.
Oh wait, it's Thanos! Now
Oh my god.
Now he can actually finish this.
That is.
How much damage is this? This is 7 plus...
He has 10 mana for. He has 10 mana for 4 cards.
Oh my
There
god, I
is
think
more,
this is it.
there is more
7
glitter.
plus 5, that's 12.
There's
plus-
more glitter on the screen
Yeah,
than the
that's,
pressure
Oh
con.
my
that's
god.
definitely enough, even without the
Wow.
Argus.
I can't believe this. It's like Savjz 3-0ing Thijs with a Shaman deck, and he is hiding all other decks he actually brought.
Which
And
is a huge advantage for the final game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to hide as many decks as possible. Hide your decks, hide your wife, hide your kids. And Savjz is advancing.
Well, to the winner's match. He's
To
not
the
out of the
winner's
group,
match.
but 3-0 to start things off against Thijs, one of the top players in Europe. I mean, this was supposed to be the group of death. I thought it was going to be much more contested than a 3-0.
Well, we have first
But at the
death. I
same
mean, okay,
time-
Thijs is not dead. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
he's
still
not
alive
dead.
in this tournament.
He's not dead, but it was just, that's very surprising that it's 3-0 right off the bat like that. And it
That
was
was
it
fast.
wasn't like a tight contested where sometimes it's like Shaman barely survives and somehow it just draws the right
Go
games
like
in.
War of Attrition and stuff.
Games 2 and 3 ended so quick and to the point where Priest and Warrior had like nothing to do.
I would love to interview
Wow.
Thijs and ask, did you expect that?
Well, I mean, I think first we're going to talk to Savjz, who's ready to come on. Hey, come over here, buddy.
Do we have the mic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he has a mic. Cool. Yo, Savjz!
Congrats,
Oh.
buddy.
Well,
Thank you.
Yanni,
Nice win.
you said you were playing the best Hearthstone of your life. I believe it. I mean, you felt really confident. You were also playing a very bursty Shaman. Why did you bring that deck specifically, you felt?
I've been practicing with a lot with it lately, like just these past few days. It hasn't been a long time. I just shout out to Ilona for making me try out the deck. With you do saw with the lava bursts, and it's really burst heavy, and I was going for face a lot. So yeah, I tried the deck on my stream, and I went like 14 wins and 1 loss with it. Priest was the only bad matchup, but I have kind of have some experience with that one as well, and now was able to surprise him, and yeah.
So how did you come, like how did Ilona suggest the deck to you?
Her favorite class is Shaman, and she was like asking me to try it out, and yeah, it worked pretty well.
Okay, so shout out to her, and shout out to you for doing like really bursty start to this tournament. I mean, this is a good start for the tournament.
Yeah. Were you worried at all going into this group? You have 3 of the bigger names in all of Hearthstone there. You have Thijs, you have Gara and Nimsh. They're really great European players. Were you afraid at all, or were you just feeling like you're...
I wasn't
okay?
afraid, and I actually think that I have an advantage over all 3 of. I was gonna say 10, but all 3 of you. But
I
it's
like it.
you're all definitely players like all Gara, Thijs, Nimsh, that I can lose to. But I think I'm in a good spot, especially now that I was able to take Thijs down. By the way, I have to ask something about the last game. Did I miss lethal there? I was like counting almost 2
No, you
minutes.
had 22.
If I earth shock there.
You were one
there.
mana
Yeah,
off.
I was thinking because I can lightning stone to like buff it up with one more, but I think I was 1 damage off.
Even if you would miss lethal, that would be just
Yeah.
calculated BM.
Like that's why I roped there and did the mistake mode, giving it the flame tank to wrong dudes and. But
yeah. It's like I was talking to Colento, so every time Colento misplays, he's just that's a calculated misplay to BM his opponent because in the end he wins.
Yeah, it was a 2-step BM lethal. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
that's right.
Absolutely. Well, congrats, Savjz. 3-0 start things off. You'll play the winner of Gara versus Nimsh, which I believe is coming up soon on the stream, which means we're going to take a quick break, guys. After this commercial, we're going to resume Group A. Meanwhile, guys, check out everything else on taketv.net. There's a second stream going on, too. So while we do that, we're going to get ready for our next series. We'll be back in just a sec.